What's up YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're going to talk about the tools that I carry on any motorcycle trip, regardless of whether I'm headed into the backcountry or just down the road on my Harley. The following tools are going to be things that I'm going to carry at any time on any bike. So grab a beverage, maybe your toolkit, so we can compare notes, and stick around to the end and I'll give you guys a bonus tool that I'm going to be carrying from now on my bike anytime I'm headed into the backcountry. Let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back. Now let's get into it. First of all, let me preface this video by saying that any of the tools that you see in any of these kits were bought entirely with my money. I'm not sponsored by any of these brands. These are just things that I carry with me on my bike, and my thoughts that I'm sharing with you guys to hopefully help you when it comes to buying a toolkit to carry on your bike. Three of the biggest things you're going to consider when it comes to buying a toolkit for your bike. One is going to be weight, two is going to be size, and three is going to be budget. Because toolkits can be very varied in all three of those things, and which ones are important to you will change from person to person. For me personally, the most important one out of those three is going to be space. The weight for myself, whether I'm riding my Harley or my BMW GS, those are both big, heavy bikes. Saving a couple of pounds on a toolkit is, I'm sorry to tell you, not going to matter or make you a better rider in the big picture. But space is definitely at a premium when you're packing for a motorcycle trip. So that's definitely something that I consider, because you want your toolkit to not take up a whole lot of room in your pannier. You want that space for more important items, but you also want it to be small enough you can put it somewhere so it's easy to get at. To me, like if I find a bolt and it's loose and my toolkit is easy access in my pannier, or better yet in my tank bag, better chance I'm going to tighten it up than there is if I have to actually empty a pannier and dig through it to get to my toolkit, which is completely at the bottom. So pro tip right there, make your toolkit easy to get at. In front of me here today are three very different types of tools. They're all vastly different in their own ways when it comes to weight, size, budget. All three of the things I talked about, these things vary greatly. So let's get into this one here first. So this kit is from SBV Tools. These guys make some high quality toolkits. These are in fact like so far above my mechanical ability, it's not even funny, but in case I did have a motorcycle mechanic come along on the trail, I'm sure he could use all of this. They're very inclusive, but also very expensive and very heavy. Can snap these two kits together so that they fit better together. But if you have a quick look in here, there's not much you wouldn't be able to fix on a motorcycle trip with this kit. We've got some hex heads over here. We got some more. I don't even know what you'd use that for. See what I mean? Larger hex ones here, which are handy for my BMW. SBV does sell these kits bike kind of specifically. So this kit is, I believe it's labeled as their Pro Mechanics kit for the BMW GS models. Now, disclaimer, I am not a pro mechanic. In no way, shape, or form. I might even consider myself to have wrench repellent. Not mechanically inclined at all. I do some of my own basic maintenance, but when it comes to some of the more complicated stuff, that is not for me. Now this kit from SBV rolled up, in my mind, doesn't take up too much space for how inclusive it is, and like the amount of tools and the ways you can use them. If you look up videos, like to me, like giving up that amount of space may be worth it, but it's not light. It weighs in at 2.5 kilograms, which I believe is something like 5.5-ish pounds. So The big picture, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter, but it's not light. So if you're traveling on a smaller bike or trying to pack super minimalist, this may not be the kit for you. This one also retails for, I think it's like close to 500 bucks. So not a budget friendly option, but a BMW mechanic could probably fix almost anything on your bike using this toolkit. Next on the docket here, we've got some tools that I picked up. I do like to carry with me on the bikes if I'm not carrying that big kit. These are from Motion Pro. This is a set of vice grips from Knipex. Like, these aren't cheap tools, but these things are super light and will probably come in handy depending on the bike. These tools come torque rated, all different sizes here. Large, strong, small. And these aren't cheap tools, but these weigh next to nothing. So if you have a spot that you can put these, you can almost carry on them, completely forget you have them. The next kit we have here is going to be this one from Enduro. These guys are Canadian, they're Alberta based, which I love. And you can see just based on my hand here the size of this. So let's have a look inside and see what's there. So from Enduro here, need to fix a tire, plug a tire, you got tubeless wheels. Right there, all the tools you need. You got some ropes, you got your reamer tool, your rope tool. It's nicely in right here. A couple of super lightweight wrenches. I think they make a couple different sizes you can order depending on the bike. They also have this little ratchet tool, which works well with any other bits that fit in the Enduro Genius tool called the Double Track. If you ride any motorcycle, dual sports especially, smaller bike, these are super light, and you don't have one of these, you are missing out. These things will fit so many different places. You got torque heads, you got stars, you have your flats, you have an extension back here. You need a bit of extra torque on something. I'm telling you, regardless of the bike you ride, put one of these on it. Go to their website. They have the double track, they have the single track. They make these great little cases that you can fit everything in, and this is literally not much bigger than your wallet. So this will fit in any tank bag or any pocket on any of your panniers. All fits together nicely. You could literally fit this thing in your pants pocket. So these are just a couple of the tool options that I have that I could carry with me depending on the trip. Again, the double track, super handy. Like, it doesn't get any more convenient than to have almost every tool you might need for your bike sitting right there in your tank bag. There's so much that you can tighten up with just basic small tools. It's important there's always a balance, especially when you're getting off-road and a little off the beaten path where help might be a little harder to come by, of what you need to carry just in case and what just may not be worth taking up the space and weight in your bags. But let's get into what I carry in case I need to boost the bike or have it flat. If I need to boost my motorcycle or anybody else's, or emergency base charge my cell phone, this is what I carry right here. It's the MicroStart XP3. It's a great carrying case. Two extra cables on this side. Unit right here. it's ready to use. So it comes with a flashlight. It's also got a couple of USB chargers. You got a couple of USB chargers right there too, so if you did have to use this to charge a phone, you could do it. I wouldn't recommend doing that. Personally, I like to keep this just for emergencies in case the bike needs to boost. But if for some reason I had to charge an emergency device or my phone, this could do it. Now let's talk about tires. So my bikes, both tubeless. Unless I'm getting significantly off the beaten path, do I carry tire spoons and a tube with me. Because even with a tubeless tire, if you had to shred that tire or do too much damage to it that you couldn't patch it, you could actually use the spoons and put a tube in there and it would get you out of a jam. At least get you out of the woods. But for the most part, I don't carry any tire spoons with me, but I do carry a pump and a tire repair kit specifically from Ride Trail Tech. So let's have a look. This right here is the pump and tire repair kit from Trail Tech, and I love how compact these are. I love how they both came with their own case, and they take up very little space. They're both relatively lightweight. Let's have a look at what's inside. So again, you have the pump. Doesn't need to be plugged in, you just have to remember to keep it charged. But once this thing is actually fully charged, it will pump up at least 3 tires. And even if it's in the orange, like it's showing that it's almost dying, this has put a tire back from almost empty to fully inflated without dying. You've got your air holes over here. Charging cord, just use the USB to USB-C on the pump. Super handy and compact, and I love this thing. Then we've got the Trail Tech, the tire repair kit. So let's see what's in here. In here is a little bit of everything. So it does have CO2 canisters, which you can use to help set a tire back on the bead if needed. Comes with adapters, extra hoses, a little knife, which will help cut off your ropes once you've put the plug into a tire. That's your reamer tool and your plug tool. Some rubber cement, which helps make a seal. Some patches, and obviously your ropes. Literally everything you need to repair a tire in this little kit, which to me is super convenient. And that's it for tools for me. That's what I carry on my bikes. Again, if I'm going on a trip with the BMW, I could take that SBV toolkit and it's got everything in there that a BMW mechanic would ever need to fix the bike, which is more than I am entirely qualified to even use. But if I want to simplify the kit, I can simply break it down and take that Ride Trail Tech pump and tire repair kit and just that basic little Enduro kit, and that's probably all I'm going to need for 90% of what I'm going to encounter on the road, realistically. I might throw in those Nipex vice grips because that's small, super lightweight, could come in very handy. But my toolkit, tire repair kit, could look literally as small as this. And that's it. Just give you some reference for size to kind of see compared to my hands, just how much space it's going to take up. So your battery booster. It's not much that you're going to encounter on the trail that you won't be able to take care of with just these items right here. You'll be able to boost your bike. You can fix a lot of what will ever go wrong with most brands of motorcycles with an Enduro double track. Also have those bonus tire tools in there. Got the Nipex vice grips. These again, not cheap, but super lightweight. Probably definitely come in handy making a repair. Got the Trail Tech pump, Trail Tech tire repair kit. If your bike's got any larger nuts and bolts, you could fit this in. This thing literally weighs ounces. There's nothing to this. That's it for today's video, guys. I just wanted to share some thoughts on some tools that I carry, like regardless of if I'm taking a trip on my Harley or taking a trip on my BMW and getting a little more into the backcountry. Gonna carry very, very similar tools. Obviously, I won't carry that SBV BMW specific toolkit, but I still will carry this Enduro double track kit that I have here. Still carry my tire pump, and I'll still carry the tire repair kit, because you can always plug a tire and it'll get you to the next dealership or a hotel, get you off the road anyway. Hope you've enjoyed today's video. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. And oh, hold on. I said I was going to show you guys a bonus tool that I'm going to carry with me. It's actually not a tool at all, but it's something that I think, given the amount of forest fires and wildfires we see lately, I think this is kind of responsible to carry around. It may not only help put a fire out on your bike, which I get it, we have insurance, but if you're in the middle of nowhere, you might need your bike for a ride out. Might also help prevent a forest fire. If you're camping, whether it's at a campground or backcountry camping, you know, being able to prevent forest fires in any way are a good thing. And it's this right here. So this is a fire extinguisher. It's from Element. It's super small. Just for size reference, you can stuff this in a pannier. You could find somewhere to mount it on a rack on your bike. And it's something that I'm going to be throwing in a bag anytime I'm headed into the woods and could potentially be having a fire. This thing is rated for all classes of fires, everything from A, B, C, and K, if you're familiar with your fire classes at all. Very simple to use. Instructions right on the fire extinguisher itself. Some great videos on their YouTube channel showing them in use and how they can be used, and I'd highly recommend at least checking them out. These things aren't super cheap, super handy, and something that we can carry on a bike or even a side-by-side or anywhere. If you're in the backcountry potentially making a fire, I highly recommend one of these Element fire extinguishers. Again, thanks for watching this video, guys. I hope some of my thoughts and some tips on the tools that I carry will help you guys when it comes to buying a toolkit for your own bike. I'd encourage you guys to look into these fire extinguishers. Big fan of Enduro tools. Highly recommend you check these guys out. Same with Ride Trail Tech. These guys are making some great little kits too. Not sponsored in any way, just brands that I like, and I like to support them because they're making some good stuff. We'll see you guys on the road.